It's Nolan.
Lot of broken promises I've been waiting on. Lot of y'all been hating, but that's the way it go. People I used to run with trying to play me. No matter what they do, can't let them change me, no. Can't even start my day, somebody feel away. Last night I signed some paperwork, today my life a chain. Can't even celebrate, this shit must come with older age. I'm about to reach for bigger heights, somehow I feel afraid. Shut down my phone for some peace of mind, I just need some time for me and mine. Seem like all I do is hit the street and grind. Dollar after dollar facing scrutiny, just got this LSC. This music shit ain't what it used to be, I thought it was a dream. Had a vision for my team, but the movie picture perfect, now they got me cutting scenes. Plus my girl, she want a ring, I can't lie, man, she deserve it. From the lines to the limb, she held me down while facing serpents. It get deeper than the surface, down the stress, but weighing deep. Gotta switch up on my sheet, cause I've been sweating in my sleep. Know my karma gon' be sweet, read the comments, clear my conscience to the beast. They say I'm soaring what I reap, so now them comments come in peace, yeah. Lot of broken promises I've been waiting on. Lot of y'all been hating, but that's the way it go. People I used to run with trying to play me. No matter what they do, can't let them change me, no. Lot of broken promises I've been waiting on. Lot of y'all been hating, but that's the way it go. Women I used to love them try to play me. No matter what they do, can't let them change me, no. Calling my parents for clarity. They left it to Cali for I was a baby. I wonder if that shit was fair to me. Never got to connect with my family. But here I am on my way to 100 grand. It's independent game. It took me from apartments to some land. I guess I should be grateful. All my life I wanted them pesos. Living was shameful. Working jobs for minimum payroll. Willing and able. Couldn't find my way out the trap. Met a girl that pushed me forward. So now it's no looking back. So many snakes I dead them. Cut them off. I had to put head on fake managers that wanna be rappers. Man, I regret them. In this city, everybody crave a taste of the fame. The ones I thought would keep it silent, they turned out to be lames. I wish them well though, don't hope they fail though. Delete my cell though, cause I ain't got the time for the captain like a sombrero. Shopping on Melrose, about to hit the strip with a grip. Kinda crazy how I made it this far. Life is a trip, right? Lot of broken promises I've been waiting on. Lot of y'all been hating, but that's the way it go. People I used to run with trying to play me. No matter what they do, can't let them change me, no. Lot of broken promises I've been waiting on. Lot of y'all been hating, but that's the way it go. Women I used to love them try to play me. No matter what they do, can't let them change me.
Yeah. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music commentary, entertainment, and breakdowns. Y'all already know, man, we're going to get into some things this evening. This is a Let's Talk session, but the name of this show is called The Long Arm of the Law. All right. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in the water of the music and entertainment industry right now, but it seems that everybody is in hot water right now, or at least the temperature is rising on some Mobb Deep shit. All right. So we're going to be covering Beyonce in this lawsuit for Break My Soul with her and Big Frida. We're going to be getting into Sean Kingston's home being raided earlier today. We're going to be getting into ASAP Raqi because he has a trial coming up for allegedly shooting one of his ASAP members. And we're also going to be talking about the Department of Justice and how they're on a mission to take down Ticketmaster for some of their unethical practices, overcharging people for them concert tickets. Best believe I'm with that. And we're also going to talk about Esther Baxter briefly, not too much, but we're going to touch on her because, with the whole Joe Budden Diddy thing going on, Raqi Thunda came out and she wanted to throw Esther Baxter into the conversation. Esther Baxter ain't so receptive to being thrown into that conversation. She doesn't want to rekindle those old, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't want to rekindle those harmful, horrific memories. So she says, y'all should have looked out for me when I was actually telling y'all what was going on. Don't put me on nobody list. So we're going to get into that and show video of her stating her case. But we're going to start with Queen B, all right? Beyonce being sued for copyright infringement. I said infringement. What the fuck going on? Infringement for Break My Soul. Damn it, man. This song was already shrouded in controversy because people you know what I mean, when it came out, when people found out that Renaissance Act 1 was going to be a house album, there was a lot of people out there that felt like this was the most common house music song that anybody could sample or interpolate. So she got criticism for that. Then Robin S. came out and she was kind of somewhat lukewarm about the situation. She was excited, but she was mad because she wasn't getting paid, you know, but she wasn't credited as a writer on the original song. So it wasn't too much that she could do. She felt like she didn't receive a phone call. But again, when you're clearing records, you only call the people that actually have ownership, you know? So this song has been in ongoing conversations the entire time. Now we've got someone else saying that they've been wrongfully sampled on this record. All right, let's get into it. A group of Louisiana-based musicians have filed a lawsuit against Beyonce over her 2022 hit Break My Soul. The lead single from the Stars album Renaissance samples the 2014 song Explode by New Orleans artist Big Freedia, a champion of bounce music, a subgenre of the city's dance and hip-hop scene. According to a document filed in Louisiana federal court on Wednesday, which was yesterday, the Showstoppers, that's the name of the group, comprised of Tessa Evie, Kevin Bourgeois, Henry Braggs, and Brian Clark, they claim that Explode copies the lyrics and composition of their 2002 song, Release a Wiggle, without authorization. So, in simplest terms, right, they're alleging that Big Freedia, in order to make her record Explode in 2014, it sampled their original song, Release a Wiggle. So then when Beyonce comes and samples Big Freedia, they like, you ain't just sampling Freedia, you're sampling us too. Okay? Just want to make it make sense for everyone. You know, not everyone knows all this mumbo jumbo. The lawsuit notes defendants and plaintiffs' words, melody, and musical arrangement from their copyrighted works to create an album as homage to Uncle Johnny, who exposed the music and culture of the LGBTQ community of Greater New Orleans, of which 3 members are strongly affiliated with themselves, all displayed in its full force, the tone, actual words, melody, musical arrangement of bounce music. This is interesting. So they're saying, hey, you're out here trying to honor your Uncle Johnny, right? Who is from New Orleans, you know, part of the LGBTQ community, a staple. Some of the members of the group also identify themselves. So they're like, hey, we love all that. We with it. But you're going to have to pay us for sampling our record. You may have done it unknowingly because that Big Freedia song never properly cleared it. But we need in on all this shit, is what they saying. The group also claims any reasonable person listening to Release a Wiggle and Explode would conclude that the songs are substantially similar. Along with Beyonce and Big Freedia, also known as Freddie Ross Jr., Jay-Z, Sony Music, and other agencies have been named as defendants in the suit. I don't recall Jay-Z signing Beyonce. I don't recall him running her company. I don't recall him being affiliated with Sony. But, you know how it goes. You know how it goes. The filing further alleges that while Beyonce, Big Freedia, and others have financially benefited from the song, the Showstoppers have not received the same rewards. Mrs. Carter, Big Freedia, Parkwood, Sony, and others have received many accolades and substantial profits from Explode and Break My Soul and the Renaissance album, the Renaissance World Tour, and the Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. The Showstoppers have received nada. No acknowledgement, no credit, no remuneration of any kind. According to Rolling Stone, the Showstoppers are asking to be credited on Break My Soul and Explode and for compensation rights as well as royalties for future licenses on the track. Which, I'm going to be honest, if their music was indeed used, they would be completely entitled to all of that. It does not matter how loyal you are to Queen Bee. This seems like a clerical issue that had nothing to do with her. Because again, if you're sampling somebody's record and they sampled somebody's record and this song has been available for open consumption for, at the time of recording, possibly anywhere between 6 to 7 years. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it's been 12. They made this song in 2002. Frida's song was made in 2014. It's now 2024. So it's been 10 years since Big Frida's version came out. And there was no... I kind of wonder if they ever filed a lawsuit directly on Frida, or if you just skipped that and let it ride for years and now you popping out. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas, I guess. You know? Damn, they pocket watching for real. They say after the album's release, Beyonce embarked on a world tour from May to October 2023, which reportedly made $579 million. Okay, so they're like, shit, man, you out here damn near making, you done probably made close to $1 billion off this album, tour, movie. And we still struggling in the hood trying to get our love. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to Billboard to see if they have, let me go to Rolling Stone to see if they have further intel on this before I move on to other subjects. Y'all bear with me for a moment. How's everybody doing out there, by the way? Hope y'all are having a great evening. All right, let me just breeze through this real quick. Nope. That's all. That's all the information. Okay. So, yeah, they're gonna have to be cut in again if this is legit. I'm about to do my due diligence real quick and see like how similar the Big Frida and Showstoppers record is. I'm gonna have to do the ear test. Of course, we can't do the ear test together, but you know, I'm gonna let y'all know. All right, y'all. Upon further review, I feel like this lawsuit is going to be it's gonna be tough. Now, from my vantage point, you got to go back in history, right? So there's a lot of music that is, you know, the bounce community out there in New Orleans, they've all been pulling from the original song. The original song is Drag Rap by the Showboys. That's where the drum pattern came from. That's where the da 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 da. That's where that came from. You know what I'm saying? So the Showboys came out with Drag Rap in 1986. All right. You get the Showstoppers. They put their Release a Wiggle song out in 2002, in which they sampled the Showboys. Right? Very similar song, kind of like a tribute. In the Showstoppers song, they do say Release a Wiggle, right? Which is where Big Frida took the drums from Drag Rap from the Showboys and said, release your wiggle, release your stress, release your job, forget the rest, all that type of stuff, right? So it's kind of an interpolation of them saying release a wiggle in 2002. Now, as far as the sounds of the music, I think they're going to have to, you got to credit the Showboys, not the Showstoppers, right? Because you got to go to the OG of the OG. But when it comes to the lyrical styling that Big Frida used in what's the song called? Explode. And then Beyonce samples Explode to create Free My Soul. That's where it gets a little tricky. So they're going to have to prove that Big Frida was indeed inspired by them when saying release your wiggle, which clearly it comes, you know, Frida could lie and say I wasn't, but it seems pretty obvious. And unfortunately, on the heels of all of this, Beyonce is sitting somewhere like, God damn, I thought you motherfuckers had your business intact. That's tough. I think they have a strong case, especially since release a wiggle. He comes out and says, release your wiggle. I know some people are like, those are trivial phrases and you know what I'm saying? But in the world of music, if you can show proof that somebody used your lyrics in their song, that is an interpolation. Right? And even when you change the lyrics, if you use it in a similar fashion, in a similar melody, and you may switch something around and use different words, even in that case, it can be counted as an interpolation if the melody is recognizable enough. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like this is why I even created Inside the Industry, and you know, I was doing J Nolan news before. So these types of things are always fascinating to me. This is the type of stuff that I would prefer to talk about all day, every day. It's just the mechanics of how this stuff is run. But, you know, there's not enough of those stories that are interesting enough. You know what I mean? But again, I'm sure Beyonce's looking like, God damn it. She gonna fuck around and do what she did to Khalees. Take all them motherfuckers. Take Frida voice off. Take the drum pattern off. Put some new drums on that motherfucker. We're gonna have a whole new version of Break My Soul next time you open your goddamn Apple Music, Spotify, etc. It's gonna be a whole new version. Same flow, same lyrics, same melody, new beat. Oh man, y'all know she don't play. But it does seem like they're gonna have to come out of pocket. All right, so that's what we got on Beyonce. Next in line, we've got Sean Kingston with his home getting raided. This shit is pretty bizarre, man. This shit is bizarre. I haven't been keeping up with Sean Kingston ever since Beautiful Girl. But apparently, things ain't been so beautiful for him in recent years. You know what I mean? Hate to hear that, but we're going to talk about it today. Okay? So, police are investigating a South Florida mansion believed to be the home of Jamaican-American rapper and singer Sean Kingston, according to published reports. Multiple media outlets are reporting that a large police presence, including the Broward County Sheriff's Department, arrived at Kingston's mansion in Southwest Ranches, which is located 15 miles outside of Fort Lauderdale and 22 miles outside of Miami. Okay. Reports indicate that an attorney at the home has said the investigation involves fraud. Police have not said what led them to investigate the musician's home. Let me see if I can find a better article. This article is ass. Hold on. Cause niggas don't just run up in your crib for fraud. Not for no low level fraud. Let's get to some real stuff. Them niggas had SWAT. A SWAT team raided this nigga crib. Okay? And not only did they run up in his house, but they also arrested his mother on fraud and theft charges that an attorney says stem partly from the installation of a massive TV and entertainment system in their home. Okay? Broward County detectives arrested Janice Turner, who's his mother, at the 14,000 square foot home in Southwest Ranches. So at least that was accurate. And this is a well-off Fort Lauderdale suburb that is home to many celebrities and professional athletes, including Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Miami Dolphins star Tyreek Hill. So this is in a pretty luxurious place. The sheriff's office said the investigation is ongoing and declined to release specific details about the charges against Turner or whether her 34-year-old son is also a target. Local media reported that Kingston is out of town and was not present during the raid. I believe he was flying out to Vegas, and he posted up on social media that he would be there, which is why they chose the opportune time to run up in his shit. They say it cannot be determined if Turner has an attorney who would comment. Federal court records show she pleaded guilty in 2006 to bank fraud for stealing over $160,000 and then served 16 months in prison. So this ain't their first time running this charade. I knew I heard some crazy shit about them before. A lot of crazy shit. Sean Kingston comes out and says, people love negative energy. I am good and so is my mother. My lawyers are handling everything as we speak. And that post that he put up ensuring his well-being was deleted. Damn. The Florida Department of Corrections records show he is currently on 2 years probation for trafficking stolen property. So this is a trend for this guy. Reporters at the home could see authorities filling a loading van with goods. The mansion was surrounded by expensive sports cars, so they came in and just started taking everything out because you ain't been paying for it. Okay, you paying for it now with your ass. An attorney who witnessed the arrest says it is partly related to a look. Come on, man, it's the same shit y'all were talking about before. So they installed a 232-inch TV, or in feet, it's about 17 feet wide, 9.5 feet tall. Big boy, movie theater. They say it is amazing that you can get, it is amazing what you can get away with if you are a celebrity, attorney Dennis Card told the Associated Press. They say he creates this larger than life, I am rich persona. His mother is a necessary component in this. He presents himself as a family oriented guy. I'm taking care of my mom, but she knows full well what is going on because she's a part of the scheme too. In the lawsuit, Verver Entertainment says Kingston contacted the company in September about purchasing a television sold under the brand name Colossal TV, very appropriate name, and having it installed in his home. The system costed approximately $150,000. Kingston allegedly told the owners that if they would agree to a lower down payment and give him credit, he and Bieber would do commercials for them. So he created a promise that he could get Justin Bieber to do TV commercials and advertisements for them if you would just allow me to give you a low down payment. We're going to look out for you, baby. Trust Me Records. In November, Kingston paid the company about $30,000 out of the $150,000 and the TV was installed. No commercials or further payments were ever made despite numerous promises by Kingston. It baffles me that they ran up in your shit for a TV though, but I mean, it's a very expensive one. Damn. Wow. The two most recent known publicists for Kingston did not respond. The lawsuit says Kingston no longer has a working relationship with Bieber, who recently dropped his longtime manager. So there's no current contact information on him. They say Justin is 100% not involved. He had the misfortune of doing some work in the past with Sean, and Sean likes to name drop him to get things such as large TVs that he never wants to pay for. The fact you had to put $30,000 on that bit just to get it should have told you it was out your league. God damn. Now, the crazy thing about this is this shit was aired on television. They had this motherfucker on TV like it was Diddy House. I got to show it. I got to pull it up, man. They had this shit on TV like they were looking for OJ. This shit great.
Breaking that down for us. We have more breaking news that we are following for you this noon. Raid at a South Florida mansion. This is a live look from Chopper 6 overhead. Now, the name I'm going to give you here is the person who lives there, and you might recognize his name, singer/rapper Sean Kingston, facing a lawsuit that's now sparking an investigation right here in our backyard.
Our NBC6's Ari Otzer joins us live from Southwest Ranches, where we're learning more about what's going out there. Ari?
Yes, we certainly are, ladies. So Sean Kingston had some hits back in the day starting in 2007, including one that he did with Justin Bieber, but now he's in big trouble. So he lives at this 15,000 square foot mansion here in Southwest Ranches. Take a look over there. You'll see a lot of BSO deputies. They are serving a search warrant at the house. And as we go to the right side of the house, you can see a fleet of luxury cars in the front, a Mercedes, a Bentley, a Ferrari, and more. And according to an attorney who filed the lawsuit against Kingston, he has a history of never paying for his things, which is why BSO came knocking today.
That's in there. There's also about $1 million worth of watches that are in there. There's an $80,000 custom bed that was ordered. This is a organized, systematic fraud. He's got basically a script. He says that he works with Justin Bieber and that he obviously puts on a big show here. This is a rental house. He doesn't own it. And he lures people using his celebrity into having them release things without him paying for it, and then he simply never pays. He's 100% a scammer. He's on felony probation right now for trafficking in stolen property. He's got judgments against him for procuring more than $1 billion in watches without paying for them. This is just an ongoing pattern for Sean.
And that attorney you just heard from, his name is Dennis Card. He says that his lawsuit against Kingston sparked the BSO investigation. He said a detective called him and said they had noticed his civil lawsuit and they had received other complaints about Kingston from other people with similar issues, with goods being sold and never being paid for. That's why they're there inside now. We'll have to wait and see later if BSO will talk to us and let us know what they found and if Kingston will face any criminal charges after all this is done. We're live in Southwest Ranches. Our odds are NBC 6.
That nigga fucked up like a mom. You fucked up like a big dog, big dog. You should have had some big dogs on your property to protect your shit. If you got all these goods you ain't paid for, you might want to get you some goddamn positive reinforcements. Get you some security or something, man. Can't just have a nigga run up in your shit. They say you got a $150,000 TV that you only paid $30 on. They say you had, what, an $80,000 bed? What kind of bed you got, my brother? I know you're a little bit on the big side, but damn. Shit. You damn sure ain't no California king. What you got there? Shit, but you want to cover the whole goddamn floor of the room with your shit, huh? You keep your body clean, huh? You got a lot of Jabot jeans out. What the fuck you been doing, man? What is all this? Was sued in a civil lawsuit by Curring Living Trust for $100,000 in unpaid rent as well at a different location. Damn. Oh, that's your mama. Oof, this is crazy. The more I look, the more I find, and the more you looking a little funny in the light, sir. What else do we have here? He basically has a sales pitch that he goes through to defraud people. He induces them into giving him really expensive things. We know that our property is inside his house right here. So as soon as the raid takes place, we're going to have a crew of people in there to reassemble it and take it back to its rightful owner. So your ass finna fly back from Vegas in a little bit, sir. Your house finna be empty. They gonna have a bunch of pink slips on your motherfucking dinner table. That's why it'll never work. Damn. Best wishes to you. Next up on the docket, we've got Miss Esther Baxter. We're going to go ahead and get into this really quickly. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this as we've talked enough about Diddy. We've talked enough about Joe Budden to really last a lifetime, if we're being honest. But I do want to give her just due in this moment because of the fact that Joe said what he said about Diddy. To hear he came out and said, nigga, you a funny one to speak. Let's go ahead and hold you to the fire as well. former friend and associate, Raqi Thunda, came out, and she's definitely got a foot on his neck. And here's what Raqi had to say yesterday. She said, Tahiri, Sin Santana, Kaylin Garcia, Yaris, Sharina, Adali, Esther, etc. So these are all the women that Joe dated in the past. She says, hold your head up and speak your truth if and when you ever feel like it. Okay? She goes on to state, and this is in relation to Tahiri, if I'm not mistaken. She says, we can start by admitting that the storyline was made up by the three of us and meant to go smooth. So this is going back in time to their stint on Love and Hip Hop, where you've got Joe, you've got Tahiri, you've got Raqi. I believe their first stint on Love and Hip Hop, New York. Tahiri had a little bit of suspicion that Joe was interested in Raqi. She's coming out and saying, hey, that was a storyline that the three of us came up with behind the scenes. It's time to bring the truth to the light. So all of it was fake, but it did get derailed. All right. So let's keep going. She says, but the camera lights got too hot and egos flared and knives got stabbed through undeserved backs, specifically mine. But I'm an emotionally intelligent woman and can understand why a dog eats dog in that environment, especially when checks are involved. But at this big age, let's stand on truth. Excuse me. We were never the ones at odds, truthfully. Oftentimes, women unfortunately fall victim to playing the effed up hand they're dealt in order to keep their lights on. The illusion of support for your duplicity and silence equates to the patriarchy being one hell of a drug. So that's Raqi. She said much more on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to that. See what Raqi is saying, because she's still going. Raqi ain't playing with Joe. She on his anus. You know what I'm saying? That nigga tried to say Tahiri was on his body. Well, Raqi on your fucking head top, sir. So I'm just going to do one fell swoop through her tweets. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. But here we are. Just give me a second here. So when Joe called Tahiri a lying, failed gold digger and all that stuff, Raqi proceeded to let the chopper sing. All right. So she said, God damn. Next thing she said, I'm curious to know how far in the past do y'all really think the past goes? Just curious. She reacts to Joe Budden co-host and music collaborator Imani. He came out and defended Joe on the podcast and said that Joe told him that he never put his hands on anyone and he's going to stick by his friend based on what he was told. He said if at any time he learns anything opposite, he will address it accordingly. Raqi says, Imani, you're a fucking liar. And I'm beyond disappointed. You could have easily dodged this shit, but I guess your livelihood now depends on it, saying, hey, you're financially obligated to back this nigga up now that you're a part of his pod, so I guess you're going to start acting funny. She continues, motherfuckers are using the loopholes of saying they never saw the actual abuse. Meanwhile, they were in the other rooms or a phone call away, a part of the rescue team. The audacity of semantics. Okay? Someone goes to quote a Joe Budden lyric that says, and I love you so much that when I caught on to your fibs, I hit you like a man, you wore it in your ribs. Damn. I recall hearing some of those songs back in the day. It sounds very familiar. I forget what song that's from. It definitely sounds like something I've heard. But wow. Talk about the truth in the details, sir. Raqi comes on and says, come on now. She continues, this man had Esther's son's voice on his podcast intro, knew Joe Budden for years after he knocked Aspen out of her stomach. Okay, so that, I guess Aspen was the name of their child that they were supposed to have together. And, you know, in their fight, in their, I'll just say fight altercation between Joe and Esther Baxter, Joe sat on her stomach, she says, for 30 minutes. to which she lost her child. Okay? I definitely recall hearing the name Aspen in one of his songs as well, back when I used to listen to his music. And they say, and y'all thought that shit was funny. I don't know who thought that was funny or who actually knew that that voice of the new Joe Budden drop was Esther Baxter's son. I'm interested to know how he had clearance to continue to use it. She continues, y'all want to take a guess why the drop changed after so long? Same tactics, same sick-ass diabolical mind games. I wish she would have gone a little bit further in detail about that piece, but she didn't. She says, y'all thought it was funny when Joe was talking about putting tracking devices on this lady's car on his podcast. Meanwhile, the videos I still have of the high-speed chase around Dykeman were no laughing matter. Y'all are the biggest part of the problem. So, okay, this might be towards Tahiri. Talking about Dykeman, because he called her a Dykeman con woman. She continues, y'all could see and hear it all and make the choice to keep supporting, consuming, and essentially handing over financial gains for sick psychotic behavior. You're all a part of it. And for the record, we're using time as the measuring stick for how significant the conversation is. The clock started over when I was fed to the wolves a couple years ago because he knew y'all would turn on me as opposed to canceling his ass for the fucked up shit he did to that girl. By the way, I block every single bitch ass that ats that man on my mentions. He knows all this being said by burner phones or screenshots. No need to be a messy hoe on my timeline. And that's a fact. Joe actually just admitted that he uses burners to listen in on Twitter Spaces the other day because he jumped in somebody's Twitter space anonymously, then jumped in as himself. You know, behavioral patterns let you know, hey, we got to look at what we talking about. She says, the wildest part is that I'm utterly going super easy on everyone. I really got the napalms in the stash, but slow and steady wins the race. A simple effing apology would have kept shit at bay. But no, you want to keep throwing stones like a weirdo. A simple, I fucked up, you didn't deserve that. Chance after chance. It's the arrogance of men. It's been too many years of me having to take hits on my career options and having to suffer losses because of the false narrative this cat cemented. To this day, I have to deal with it. Y'all wouldn't understand how infuriating that is. And for those that don't know, I know Namel's been trying to put it into the chat for the last couple of days. Raqi says that Joe snatched her up by her neck in an instant. I think there was an altercation between Tahiri and Raqi on the show. They were throwing drinks at each other. And he proceeded to grab Raqi. I don't know if he caught himself trying to move her out the way, but whatever it was, he got aggressive, grabbed her by the neck. She says that his fingerprints, his handprints, were cemented into her neck for days after that happened. And from that day forward, they've been sworn enemies. Okay. So she says, hey, he assaulted me. And Joe has never admitted to that. She says, if anyone, male or female, refutes anything I've said, it's 100% because they're getting a check by the other side. And in that case, just be smart with how you cash out. Please don't let me hear of not one more behind the scenes conversation or sabotage from you and or crew. And I'll leave the rest for God to handle. I think she's sending messages out to the Joe Budden podcast associates and members. Okay. What is this? She quotes Kendrick, stop telling lies about me and now stop telling truth about you. I'm not going to lie, that blatant disrespect from Manny got me ready to crack the war chest, photos, texts, videos, and all. Joe should have put a leash on his new lap dog. That kid is not built to carry anyone, not even himself, over the destruction that would ensue. She says she got photos, videos, texts. Stop playing with her before she turn you to a song. Stop playing with her before she turn you to a song. Because she got everything. Okay. What else Raqi got for y'all? I think I'll leave it there at this current moment. Now, again, with all of that being said by Raqi, Esther Baxter still wants nothing to do with this. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and pull up her video. Just give me a moment here. Now, y'all know we can't be doing no goddamn back and forth. So just give me a second here. But y'all see what she say in the quotes here. Neither side needs to drag me into this. Please and thank you. I'll be in my own little world, minding my own damn business. Stop playing. You know what I mean? But we got to get to where she actually speaks on this.
I did. Please, because you think that you're helping, you're not helping, you're not doing anything. It's not let's gather together and do the damn thing. The time was when it happened to people. That's when they needed your support. You weren't there. So please stop trying to act like you're there now. Okay? I don't fuck with a lot of people, and these people know that. Don't put my name on any more lists. I don't want to be associated with any of this stuff. It is triggering. It's triggering to have to be constantly tied to something that not only you had to go through, you went through in your life that was forever changing, but you also have to relive it over and over and over again because somebody is constantly talking about it. Not only that, but you weren't believed when you were brave enough to say something. Don't put me on any more lists. Thanks. And if you're an abuser, you should just totally sit this one out. It's not your season, okay? Shut the fuck up. Sit down. You're loud. Shh.
And the final straw was, P.S. That woman is not lying. I think she's talking about Tahiri. She might even be talking about Raqi, but she just does not want to be a part of it. She lived through it. She does not want to revisit that past, that tumultuous past, all of the things that she went through. I mean, the traumatic experience of losing a child because this man sat on your stomach and chest area, your abdomen area for 30 minutes. Yeah, man. Joe got to get the fuck out the gate. The fuck out the gate. Goodbye. Hold on.
Goodbye.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Goodbye.
You got to go. You got to go. And the round of applause was opportune too. You got to go, sir. You got to go. Get your ass kicked out. All right. So that's Esther Baxter. That was Raqi Thunda. And I think the Thunder's definitely going to continue rolling on Joe's ass because Raqi ain't letting up, even if Esther don't want nothing to do with it. Tahiri and Raqi, they coming. And I think Kaylin got some shit too. His current girlfriend says she doesn't know any of what they talking about. Maybe he's reformed himself in his later years, calmed down a bit. But that does not negate the other's experiences. All right, we're going to keep moving along. We've got ASAP Rocky trial on the way. Let's go ahead and pull that up for the people. ASAP Rocky gets an October trial date for the alleged shooting of his former friend and associate, ASAP member ASAP Relly. So they say he's due to face a jury trial this fall over charges that he opened fire on his former friend ASAP Relly on a Los Angeles street corner more than 2 years ago. The Praise the Lord rapper received a trial date of October 21st, 2024 at a morning hearing attended by one of his defense lawyers, Sarah Kaplan. The judge said Raqi, whose legal name is Rakim Mayers, must file his planned motion to dismiss the case by July 19th. Kaplan said she's still waiting for medical records related to the alleged hospital visit from ASAP Rally. So they still don't have the records of him actually going to the hospital. ASAP Raqi, 35, has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. At a preliminary hearing last November, prosecutors showed video, of the alleged gun assault, claiming that he fired a weapon at the corner of Selma Ave and Vista Del Mar Ave in Hollywood on November 6, 2021, after first confronting Raleigh-born Terrell Efron. Okay, footage from the parking garage captured the start of the altercation, which involved a physical struggle. Separate grainy video shot by a building security system a block away showed the moment Myers allegedly discharged a weapon and grazed Relly's hand. Myers is ASAP Raqi. That video was difficult to make out because it was captured from across a parking lot. There is no obvious muzzle flash and no sound, only figures appearing to scatter at the same time. That could work in ASAP's favor, but damn. Surveillance clips recovered from separate nearby buildings captured the sound of alleged gunfire, and then a man identified by prosecutors as ASAP rounding a corner and slowing down to a walk. Woo. An LAPD detective testified last November that the video from the parking garage on Argyle Ave, across from the W Hotel appeared to show ASAP with a gun in his hands. Under cross-examination, Detective Frank Flores conceded that no weapons were ever recovered in the case. Damn. So, how y'all gonna identify that? The detective also acknowledged the video of the alleged shooting was inconclusive. Ooh. There's nothing clear that shows it, Flores testified, referring to the purported shooting. The detective tried to add that collectively the videos tell a plausible story, but ASAP's defense lawyer Joe Tacopina shut him down. He says, "I'm not asking for opinion." Asking again if the video clearly showed a shooting. He says nothing definitively shows in his answer. Ooh. The court agrees with the defense that you don't see an actual shooting in the video. Later, in another section of the video, you do hear 2 shots. LA County Superior Court Judge M.L. Villar said, as she sent the case to trial. She agreed with prosecutors that tempers were heightened on both sides during the incident. In addition to video, the judge said she considered the extensive testimony by Relly regarding the alleged shooting and his belief he was grazed by a bullet on his left hand. Was it a pellet? In any event, Mr. Efron does what appears to be a dance around the other individuals to avoid being shot. His testimony is that he was. Tacopina, a Bulldog defense lawyer known for representing high-profile clients including Meek Mill, YG, and Donald Trump. Wow. You got Trump's lawyer. Said after the November hearing that ASAP Raqi would be, quote-unquote, vindicated at trial. Speaking to reporters, he suggested Relly perjured himself when he denied asking for millions of dollars to make the criminal case disappear. So he said, hey, you give me a couple mil, I will leave you alone. In a quote, he says he swore under oath that no, he did not, as in ask for money. They said that's not going to bode well for him at trial. The lawyer said it was possible ASAP Raqi might testify in his own defense. Common sense is going to prevail, and we're going to get Raqi through this, and he's going to be vindicated. The evidence we have that they don't know about is going to be devastating. What you got? In his full day of testimony last November, Efron claimed he was the victim of an armed ambush orchestrated by the Grammy-nominated rapper. And Efron is ASAP Relly, by the way. He says that he says he sent Raqi an embittered text on October 28, 2021, because he believed Raqi had become, quote-unquote, big-headed and failed to deliver on a promise to pay funeral expenses for one of their friends. He told ASAP Raqi, you so fucking fake, it's sad. ASAP Raqi never responded, he testified. Under cross-examination, Efron said he eventually learned that Raqi did pay for the entire funeral. So you came to him admonishing his character saying, hey, you ain't put no money up for this funeral. Then you find out that he paid for the entire thing. Yikes. Raqi said in the text, "Don't ever forget who introduced you to this life. You his daddy?" He told the court he was the one who brought Raqi into the ASAP crew when they were just high school students in New York. Okay, got you. After his text went unanswered, ASAP Raqi said he was riding in a car with ASAP Bari, whose real name is Jabari Shelton, when he purportedly overheard Raqi talking about him on the phone. He said he'd beat me up, that I'm emotional. According to Raqi finally reached out to him directly the evening of November 6, 2021 with calls and texts asking where he was staying during a trip to Los Angeles. They agreed to talk face-to-face, setting the stage for the alleged shooting. So he's basically saying, ASAP Raqi lined me up. He ain't take me to no barbershop. He wanted to line me himself. Raqi testified that Raqi pulled out a firearm during their initial confrontation in the parking garage and threatened, "I'll kill you right now." He said he dared Raqi to shoot him. "Shoot that shit. Why you brought a gun if you ain't gonna use it? You don't scare me," he allegedly told him. He testified that people were walking nearby outside the hotel, so Raqi allegedly put the gun in his waistband and started to walk away, thinking he was Bishop and Juice. I put that last part in there myself. Raqi admits, "I was talking a bunch of shit. I wasn't doing anything physically. I was just mad. I didn't sit well with me and I wanted him to hear my side. I knew I was never going to see this man again." He claimed Raqi eventually turned around and fired an initial shot that grazed his left hand. He said he fired 2 or 3 more times before fleeing the scene, and he returned later that night and found 2 9mm shell casings that he photographed and gave to police. ASAP's lawyer previously told Rolling Stone that his client didn't shoot anyone and was the victim of a failed shakedown. Raqi didn't shoot him by any stretch, he says. It's a false scenario at the heart of a plain and blatant classic attempt at extortion. They say he's a failed ex-associate of Raqi, and he's jealous. He was trying to get money. He wanted Raqi to support him financially. He made it clear. There were repeated attempts where he tried to ask for money in lieu of not causing problems. That's what he said. We have all this memorialized in text messages and otherwise. It is an extortion. You got you a slick ass attorney. I tell you that much, Raqi. You got you a slick motherfucker. Okay? And last but not least, before I go, we're going to make this extremely quick. We've got the DOJ going at Live Nation and Ticketmaster, okay? They've been trying to get this reformed for years. And apparently, in January of last year, the Senate agreed to have an investigation after fans of Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, and other associates and artists accused them of unfair business practices. The intention with the hearing was to build evidence for a lawsuit which would, again, bring down Live Nation and Ticketmaster. Okay? They say that Live Nation and Ticketmaster handle close to 90% of ticketing for Billboard Top 40 artists, as well as professional sporting events, 80% of a monopoly on large venues. They control 70% of all ticketing, right? When it comes to promotion, they handle 60% of promotion for all major venues. Then you go to the fact that they own the venues, or for the ones they don't own, they try to lock them into 7 to 10 year contracts. And if they won't lock them in, they always have threats, which the Justice Department has found and laid out. They say when they did their hearing, they found that there were 3 reasons. 1 was to collect evidence for the DOJ. 2 was to educate fans so that they can advocate for themselves and change. And 3 was to introduce legislation, which they have done with things like transparency in ticketing and pricing, automatic refunds when concerts are canceled, and making sure that bots can't buy the tickets, right? So right now they've got this bill called the Fans First Act, which has been signed by John Cornyn, senator. And basically, they're trying to say they need a federal law focused on fan protection. There's more that you can do on ticket prices and the like that may be yet to come, but today the focus is to cause a lot of problems, and that this is a 3-headed monopoly that knows no limits. Okay? So we all know that there's exorbitant fees that come with buying these tickets. You got the bots, you got all of this stuff. You're damn near paying twice the the listed price to get your tickets from Ticketmaster and Live Nation. So they're trying to get all of this stuff dismantled, trying to get this stuff knocked out. So I will keep an eye on this as it moves forward. Much love and respect. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.